Then we can start this by you saying your name and what you do.
My name is Brandy Garrison, and I'm an independent rep for mostly activewear.
Amazing. And what is the name of your showroom?
Yogini Garmento.
I love it. How did you come up with the name?
Well, you know, obviously Yogini and old school is Garmento. And I kind of flowed together for me, so that's what I went with.
Like a play on your philosophy and at the same time a tribute to the tradition. Because I've heard that word in this district a lot.
Yogini?
Yeah, no, Garmento. It's like how you refer to like somebody who's been in the business a long time.
For a long time.
So I love it.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a veteran label that you get.
I'll take it. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that title.
How did you get into fashion?
I was living in LA and I was temping, and a friend of my mom sent me the green sheet.
Oh, you're kidding.
And I had a fax with the rolly fax paper.
Nice.
And I interviewed at DialM on the 7th floor.
No way.
Got the job, and shout out to Margaret, she's the best.
She's awesome.
And that's how I remember her saying to me, like, do you have any questions in the interview? And I was like, what do you do here? Like, I don't understand what this is. And then that was it.
No kidding.
That was it.
So Extra Secretary is the reason I know of it is Barbara Kaplan runs Extra Secretary, and she still puts out the green sheet. And I refer to it all the time when people are looking to get into the business or they want to know how to get a job in the district. I say go see Barbara.
Yeah.
So I can't believe I love that.
And I've been in the New Mart. I did one stint across the street, came back to the New Mart.
Really?
I did a little stint at another building across the street from Market, and came back to the New Mart. So this has been, you know, my place since I started.
What brings you back? What is there a feeling or a person or an experience that you kind of attribute to your time here?
Most of my friends are in the building.
Yeah.
I can visit them, and it just, you know, it's comfortable.
It's kind of like a small village almost.
Of all the buildings, I feel like this one's just the most comfortable, and probably because I've been here so long, and I know which showrooms have dogs in them, and which friends to visit. And
Totally.
Who has good stuff. So.
Totally. I did notice that there's, it is like a village in here where everyone does know one another. And if you have a buyer that's looking for a particular category and you don't carry it, you know your buddy does. And so you just send them across the hall. And that kind of, for me at least, coming into this building, I saw a very obvious synergy between you all. That it's a working relationship, but that also adds value to the building.
Absolutely. And if I don't have, part of, I think, being a good rep is if I don't have the best of a category to offer somebody,
you know where
I know where they can find it, which benefits all of us.
Makes total sense.
Which benefits all of us.
I think it's amazing that you worked with DialM, because that's still a showroom here at the building as well.
Yeah.
And Margaret and I recently were talking, and I think she said she moved in '87. So the building was beginning a conversion to wholesale manufacturing, from manufacturing to showrooms, and she was one of the first showrooms.
Yep.
And so,
she's still in this, and she took more space, and it's awesome. Yeah, she's the best.
So she's one of the long-standing reps. You're a long-standing rep. It is a sense of like mentorship that you guys are around still to teach that next crop of kid.
100%.
What's some advice you can give to that next generation of sales professionals that are now coming into the business side of fashion, whether they're from retail or not? Sometimes they have no idea about this whole part of the industry.
I feel like it's one of those gigs where, you know, when I tell my friends what I do for a living, they think it's the most glamorous, fun job on the planet. And I think they need to know that it's also a ton of hard work, and you have to be extremely organized. And it's not like, oh, I'm in fashion. Right. It's like, this is a true business, and you have to show up when you say you're going to show up, and you have to work hard, and you have to make the calls before market. And when it's not always a call getting a reorder. Right. It's also, you have to problem solve. You have to, you know, use your brain.
Definitely.
And you get to wear great clothes all the time.
I'm sure.
That's,
yeah, with the glamour, there's a lot of hard work that people aren't seeing.
There's a great, in this business, there's a great balance. Yeah. And as long as you get your work done and work hard, you know.
It'll work out.
It'll work out.
Do you feel that the relationships you have in place are really important to what you do, or they're the essence, kind of like?
They're the most important thing. They're the most important thing. When I'm thinking about a new line, when I get contacted by a new line, it's the buyers who I've dealt with for years and years that I'm going to reach out to for advice. Like, what do you know, it's a collaboration.
Definitely.
Because I mean, they're my boss as much as my lines are my boss,
Right.
as much as Teeny Tiny's my boss.
Totally.
We all want the same thing. We want mad success in our business, and we need each other for it.
Absolutely.
So, and that's communication from my buyers, giving feedback to my lines.
Okay.
Of yes, I feel like that the collections that I rep, yes, they have to have their own identity and their own personality and their own vibe, but they also have to take feedback from the
Right.
people on the ground who are there selling it, merchandising it, getting it, seeing the customer's direct reaction to it. So I depend a ton on these clients I've been working with for years and years and years and years.
It does make sense. I mean, I know there's an element of like reputation management that you're gonna like have relationships with people, and so when you hear of a new line, you're gonna check with them to kind of protect your own reputation in the business. How does that play a role, I guess, when you want to do an open collaboration with a new person? Or, I mean, how do you kind of test the waters for yourself as a business?
It's such
it's
a
hard,
good
right?
question.
It's so
and that's
hard.
so hard, and that's the balance that's how do I handle it? Is it,
Yeah.
Is it going to fit? Is it going to sell? Are they going to ship? Are they going to be mean to me?
Right.
Are they going to be mean to the customers?
Right.
Are they going to pay me?
It's scary.
So it's scary, but I think there are so many personalities involved with clothing and with our business.
Definitely.
That it's just hoping after this many years to make the right decision, which I still don't always make.
We all, right? We all are
I
like,
mean, I always want to make the perfect decision, and I feel like after 25 plus years,
yeah.
you would think I would get it right, but
No.
you need a crystal ball in this business to make that work.
Definitely. And I think your experience might allow you to trust your own intuition a little bit more. But like you said, with things changing so much, nobody knows what's coming next, really.
And
we can kind of foresee.
And it's also
but
going in with an open heart.
Yeah.
You're going to go into everything, or I go into everything with an open heart
Yeah.
and hope for
Yeah.
hope for the best.
Right.
And luckily, knock on wood,
Yeah.
I've been pretty good
Most
so far.
definitely.
If I'm still here after all these years.
Absolutely. I think it's a testament to the amount of trust you have with your relationships.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be coming back to you if they didn't trust you. Clearly, you have more than what they're realizing to offer them, which is why they kind of trust you without knowing why they trust you. Like I've heard some reps say, oh, well, I dip into helping them with their social media accounts, or I help them with the fit. And I mean, every rep is kind of doing whatever they need to do to kind of
Well, we're
them
all
the next
looking
step.
for the same thing.
Yeah.
I was with a customer a couple weeks ago, and she was like, I'm having such problems with social media. And I was like, oh my God, I got
hear you.
someone great for you. She's sitting right here.
Cool.
So I think that's a big deal also. But that's also, I think, part of that. I don't know that business that well. I don't know social media. I'm
Right. The
a
new
generation past it or whatever, but I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So I need someone to help me, to show me how to do that,
It says a lot. It says a lot. I hear more often that people just dismiss the entire subject matter.
I
where
tried.
you're like, I can't do that. I'm gonna have to meet this head on.
No, yeah, I
think
tried.
it's really honest.
And I think with anything in this business, it's changing so much, and
Yeah.
it's so new every minute that instead of always, pulling back and be like, this is how I do it, I'm old school.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a balance there where yes,
Absolutely.
I can relinquish control of social media, but I'm not going to relinquish control of just emailing my customers. That's the
Right.
only way. I like jumping on the phone. I
Right.
like asking the right questions, because sometimes you get an order from someone and you're like, you put some weird things together
Right.
here. Like,
Help me
let
figure this
let me
out.
help you.
Yeah.
Who is your customer? And I think that personal interaction is so important. And I think it's something that was getting lost for a little while, but I feel like it's coming back again. Like in the last month, I feel like I've spoken to so many more customers
Yay.
that maybe there's a resurgence again, or maybe a lot of the clients realize that
They have to.
left to their own devices at 4:30 in the morning when they've been working all day, that our job is to put great images out there, that they need to know, like, hey, this will fit better on this girl.
Yeah.
For me, the model looks awesome in the sports bra, But if your girl is bigger chested or smaller
Right.
chested, that might be not be the right choice for them. And
Absolutely.
that communication is really important to me, especially with activewear when the fit is paramount. I mean, you
So
don't want
true.
a boob flying out in the middle of
Totally,
yoga
totally.
I mean, that's how I got my start. When I first started repping an activewear line, everyone was asking me if your butt was going to show in downward dog.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah.
And I'm like, I play tennis. I have no idea what downward dog is. Like, I don't know what that is.
Right. But,
And so I started doing yoga
Yeah.
so I would know how the clothes would hold up in yoga class. Like, what's
Nice.
good for hot yoga? What's good for restorative?
nice.
And so, because of fashion,
yeah.
I got into yoga.
It's almost like wholesale reps are the new ghost retail sales professional, because when I was growing up, you could go to a boutique or a department store and you had that more hands-on approach, right?
Absolutely.
You would say, I'm looking for this particular cut or fit or whatever, and they
Yeah.
would recommend you to brands that were fit for your style. You're almost educating the retail staff from the get-go on how to do that in their store. Instead
I hope
of,
so.
yeah,
I hope
instead.
if they let me, yes.
Well, because they don't sometimes have the overhead to hire 15 sales professionals that they all train on the product.
And a lot of
You
my
know, I
accounts
get it.
too are bar studios and
Yeah.
yoga studios and resorts where there really aren't a lot of salespeople out there helping them.
Right.
So they have to. It's a self-serve island. They're out. You know, the consumer's out there on their own. So
Definitely.
it's so paramount to pick the right things in the right range within the line and make sure you balance what you have. That's why, you know, I can have 3 activewear lines, but they're so different and they're fitting different
Absolutely.
customers and they've got very different vibes from each other and different fabrics. And so that, you know, hopefully a buyer can come in here even with a small studio or with
That's
a
true.
chain of 50 yoga studios
Yeah.
and be able to leave saying I've covered my bases. I'm stoked
Yeah.
and I'm carrying phenomenal yoga mats
And in one showroom
in
too.
one showroom.
Yeah.
And that's
That's a way to really cater to the new buyer, is to not offer just, oh, I'm just carrying denim or I'm just carrying this. It's like, I might carry one category, but I'm showing you a variety of options.
Well, it
in
doesn't
that
behoove
category.
me to
No.
have 4 lines that are the same because then
No.
I'm just trading dollars.
Yeah.
And I want to work with my customers. I want to develop the lines. I want them in 5 years to be like, God, we've been carrying Onzi for 5 years, or
Yeah.
we've been, you know, this is the first season of Viore. This is so exciting that I get to be a part of it,
Definitely.
knowing that it's going to continue. So
Definitely.
I mean, but it's been really fun watching this business evolve.
Yeah, I like hearing that instead of it's been terrible to watch.
Oh no, I remember.
I'm sure it's a roller coaster in any sense of the word.
I
but
remember sitting
every sense.
with the original founder of Yoga Works, Mati Ezrati, and she said yoga's going to be big, and she's sitting there with her leg up in the air and this bright glowing skin, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, whatever.
What did you drink today?
but I listened.
Right.
And so that's how I got to be one of the first reps in the yoga business, because I was like, I guess yoga, she knows, in my head, I was like, this little guru lady knows everything.
Right.
So I'm in. If she's serving it up, I'm buying it.
So she mentored you in just the category, and then you brought your skill set to the table of how to promote and sell and approach the retailers with the category.
She was so confident that yoga was going to be the next big thing
She was right.
and she was on it, man.
Everything from it being pop-up yoga studios to a staple in a trendy hotel to
To yoga hoppy yoga in a brewery.
Yeah.
To
Fun.
Yeah, I
That'd be
mean,
fun.
to retail stores moving racks around.
Yeah.
And having early morning yoga classes.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my one of my manufacturers does that. They clear out the store and they
how
have
fun.
yoga teachers come in. I mean, it's
It's a lifestyle.
a way of life. Yeah.
I think we're moving past the time, and this will be the only general fashion statement I guess I make, is I just believe we're moving past the time of just buying to buy. I think people will go for an experience. They'll say, I want to go out tonight. I'm going to go take that yoga class, and while I'm there, I'm going to pick up a new mat, a new water bottle, whatever, because it's convenient. But it's a
Yes.
part of who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that thing just because I saw it on so-and-so. Maybe I know of that thing because of it, but I'm actually buying it because I use it.
And I
because
think
want it.
also the shift of like women, before they'd work out twice a week.
Yeah.
Or maybe 3 times a week if they were like really workout girls.
Right.
Where now it's just a part of everyday life.
Yeah.
So they still want to be fashionable, and it's a lot more comfortable than jeans.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So it's a question of what is your yoga outfit, and which leggings do you like for going out at night that look great with your boots.
Absolutely.
But still being able to go out to dinner and eat as much as you want, because your pants are just going to get bigger.
100%. 100%.
So that's a huge plus too.
And because a lot of the yoga wear, specifically one of your lines, Onzi, that I wear myself, because they're friendly for water and land, I jump in and I go snorkeling with them on, and free dive with them on, and then I'll wear them on the boat home. I mean, literally, I don't change throughout my day.
It's funny when when it's time to do laundry, I'm like, how could I have worn this many leggings in 1 week?
Everything is a hand wash.
How did this happen?
Yeah.
But luckily, with Activewear, you're not standing at the dryer folding everything afterwards. You shove it in a drawer and you're good to go.
Exactly.
For travel.
It's easy.
Who wants to wear structured pants on an airplane?
Right.
I mean, it's just become, acceptable wherever you go. I remember years ago, after road appointments, I was meeting a couple girlfriends at a bar for a happy hour, and I walked in there like, you're wearing leggings at a bar?
Really? So
like,
it was
whoa, so racy. And I'm like, I wasn't going to change after.
Right.
And now you look around and every one of my girlfriends is wearing leggings.
Yep.
So
the difference is the shoes, maybe.
Exactly.
It's like, am I wearing heels with that pair, or am I wearing boots or flats or whatever?
Exactly.
But it's really wonderful to hear you speak about your relationships with the retailers and what you've done to support your network. I'd love to learn more about your relationships with the designers. Do they take your feedback? Because ultimately, it's got to be tough working with designers, because you got creatives who have a vision.
It's totally based on the line.
Right. I mean, but at the same time, when you try to discuss how to market or sell that respective line, are they receptive to your feedback? Because you're not trying to say it's not the design, it's the fit or the construction or the.
It's on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
And I think it's like the way you would learn to work with a buyer.
Okay.
Like, how does a buyer like to work? Does a buyer want to be presented the line? Do they want to flip through the rack?
Got it.
Do they want to put up what they like and then have me say, like, you forgot these 2 things, and maybe pass on that?
Okay.
I think it's you learn how to deal with your manufacturers the same way you deal with your clients.
Okay.
Some manufacturers, this is their vision, this is what they're doing. They give me the collection and say, sell it.
Okay.
And then other manufacturers are like, help us, what do you think? Tell me about the fit. What do you think of this, before the collection comes out? So at this point in repping, I more let the collection take the lead on how they want to do that. Of course, I'll always try to offer like, hey, by the way, but you learn pretty quickly who wants to take advice, who doesn't want to take advice or feedback. Because I'm not making it up. If there's feedback to give, it's coming from the clients to them. It's not like, oh, I'm 5'2", so all your leggings should be short.
Right.
It's direct from what I'm hearing. But it's really a case-by-case basis. Some lines love the feedback and can't wait to hear and ask me for my input.
Yeah, it's free research.
And other lines have their vision, and I open up the box and it's like Christmas.
Right.
And
you never know
I never know what I'm getting, and I'm opening it up and unpacking it.
Yep.
And other lines I'm like, oh, it's exactly what they said it would be.
Cool.
So I think there's the balance there.
I can imagine it'd be fun on either side.
Yes.
The sides where you're giving feedback and you're more involved, and the sides where they're just ready to go and you're
and
more
they have
like
their
an
vision.
extension of their team.
And another thing I've learned through the years is, stuff that I look at and I'm like, this is never going to sell. Could be a dark horse surprise.
Yeah, that's so true. The consumer,
you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started with Onzi, I remember I brought it up to San Francisco market because Onzi was the first line to do printed leggings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The first ever?
It was Onzi and one other line were the first 2 that did it. And when I brought it up to San Francisco for the first time, my customers were like, you have lost your mind.
Really?
And
now that's all
5 years later,
yeah, now that's all I see.
It's the number 1, line in their store. So it's pretty exciting. Trusting yourself a little, but giving lines, things that I never thought would sell end up being a shock.
This has to be fun for you. I know
love
it's a lot
what
of work.
I do.
I was gonna say, I know it's a lot of work,
I'm
but you
really
do.
lucky though with Activewear. I get to go to yoga and see what the girls are wearing. I get to bar class. I get to go to Runyon, which is like a fashion show. I
So
mean,
true.
in and of itself.
For the dogs too.
I could go to Whole Foods after yoga, and it's like a whole nother fashion show.
Totally.
So I feel like my timing, my lucky timing, you know, when Mati said get into it, when I started learning what downward dog was, that I was in the industry, in the active athleisure industry at the perfect time of getting to watch all of this happen, kind of, and still be in it.
Even as a consumer now, I'm speaking, it's been really fun to watch the growth of that whole category. Where it was, now it's not considered pajamas or intimate apparel. This is a new, completely different category where it's almost a hybrid of your pajamas and your workout clothes. It's just a great
and you
marriage
look better
of the
when you
two.
feel better.
That's
So
so
if you're
true.
putting on something that fits you great, and the
It's
fabric's
comfortable.
super soft, and
Yeah.
you don't have to spend money dry cleaning it.
Yes.
It's like the winds are coming left and right, and guys love chicks in yoga pants.
This is a fact. This is a fact.
I have a feeling that's probably going to get cut out of this.
I think it's perfect for the podcast.
I mean, yoga
love
butt
it.
is true.
It's true.
I
Very
mean,
true.
you know, you get a good pair of yoga pants.
So true.
It's going to almost do as much as a couple great bar classes.
Absolutely.
So I think that's
Fun.
It's a good time and a fun time to be in this industry.
I love that.
It is.
Last question I would have for you before we wrap this up, because we're going to end every interview with kind of the same question to rope it all in. But before I ask that final question, I just want to ask you, what do you love about fashion? And that's a super broad question on purpose, but it's more about, because this industry is so unique and so
Everything.
diverse, right? It's like
every single thing about it.
Yeah.
I love going to the farmer's market at 3rd and Fairfax and seeing what people are wearing. I like walking down Fairfax through all the madness to see what they're wearing. I like walking on Santa Monica Boulevard through WeHo
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
seeing what they're wearing. I mean, I can walk out the door of my house and it's like a fashion show for me. I love everything about it.
Do you find yourself looking at seams and tags and construction?
You mean
and
the
fits,
Garmento
right?
handshake?
Exactly.
Hi, how's your
Hi,
day
let me
going?
feel
These
your-
are nice. Yeah,
It's so true. I just go to say hi to
it's the
somebody.
Garmento handshake. Hey.
Hey,
how
who
are
makes
you?
your? Oh,
Yeah,
it's so
exactly.
funny. But you're right. Now that the Garmento handshake, I'm gonna use
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I set up in the back of, I'm chronically early everywhere. And
That's a
I'll
really
set
good
up
habit.
in the back of yoga to watch everybody walk in and see
Cool.
what they're wearing, to get excited about something I haven't seen before.
Cool.
And I really do. I never thought about it really like that.
It's like
I really
everything.
do like
It's everything
everything
it is.
about
It's
it.
so cool to hear you
Yeah,
say it,
I
though.
really do. I really do.
So then the real final question will be, did we decide on, and I'm looking to Eric because we just discussed this downstairs, but is this going to be what's the most powerful memory?
Whatever you decided
Okay.
would be good.
We're pitching some, just to tell you a little bit too about the production of this. We're starting to pitch it as an education resource to fashion schools and boutique colleges, so
Smart.
their
That's cute.
fashion
That's
programs
nice.
can be more.
Well,
in-
and that means you're doing service and giving back a little bit too, which is pretty fucking
That's the whole
cool.
point of this thing.
Yeah.
Was not for us, but was to shed light on all of you guys, you know. And so really, if the new generations are not familiar with the veterans and the people that they can mentor with, then they're really going to come in as a disservice to the industry,
Well, I got
and
an
vice
email.
versa.
I got an email from some young chick who was like, "You've been who I know through buying," and she's like, "You've been my idol in this industry forever. You know, how can I be part of your rep group?" And I emailed her back and never heard back.
Oh, that's
I was
heartbreaking.
like,
I was like, what a good
well,
one.
Like that's kind of part of it is when someone emails you, you got to email them back. You know,
Yeah.
common courtesy there, but
Engaged.
yeah,
And-
but the most powerful memory.
Yeah, like we used to ask the question, you know, when you think of the Newmart, what's your happy or fondest memory? But if we took the Newmart out of that and just
delivered from China, from the New Moon.
Oh, yeah.
Chinese chicken salad, Chloe shrimps,
So
and pot
good.
stickers. Waiting to schedule, like making sure my buyers get back to me for the 1 o'clock meeting during market, so I can reserve a little bit too much time to sit and hang out.
Yep. So if-
And that's pretty powerful.
I was going to
for
say, that
me.
sounds like, even if I ask the question, what's
Pretty
your
powerful.
what's your most powerful memory working in this industry or working in the district? Or
It's
sounds
getting
like that'd
stoked
be
for
it.
market.
Yeah.
It's once you get over the schlepping and the panic of my
Sure.
samples are going to arrive, is everything going to be here? Is the showroom clean?
Yeah.
You know, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Then you get to take the deep breath and be like, now I get to hang out with my friends.
And everybody shows up and it's like a party.
And
For
it's
5
fun.
days, it's a party.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And my advice to the young girls in this business is make your market appointments so market's not boring.
Yeah.
Don't, if you sit here and wait for people to come, it's not if you build it, they will come.
Right.
This is a competitive business.
Yeah.
And you have to make your appointments and you have to treat your customers well, and then they'll give back to you by making your day and sitting and having lunch with you and laughing your butt off
Yeah.
and making friends in this business
Yes.
that will last years beyond them being your buyer.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's pretty important to me. I mean, some of my best friends I've met through the business that are no longer in it anymore.
Yeah. Gone on to other ventures.
Other ventures, other towns,
It's more
moved
fun.
away.
More fun to work with your friends.
And it just, you know, makes it easier for everybody. You know how to work with them. You know what they want. I mean, I feel like I keep going back to that.
Yeah.
It's learning how to work best with your manufacturers, with
Yeah.
your clients, with the customer service people you get to work
Right.
with. You know, I get to see you when I
know,
come.
I
I get to
know.
see Erin downstairs.
Yeah.
Like, I get to take the freight elevator and someone's going to be friendly.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's the whole experience.
And I love hearing that, just because we're in a time of people communicating remotely or doing virtual appointments. And although I think that that's great to save money or time or be more efficient, if you replace that with the one-on-one contact or meeting in person, I think it would send us in a wrong direction. I think actually physically seeing somebody in person and you know, engaging with them is important for our human soul. And if you kind of take that out of it, you're a robot if you just take that out.
It's our senses. I want customers to touch this jacket.
Right.
Like, I
Yeah.
can say I have the best zip hoodie you've ever put on your body, and a girl's gonna be like, that's nice. But then when I say to them, could you please try this on for 3 seconds, and I'm like, okay, I have to leave, so can you give me my jacket back?
Right.
I want them to touch it. I want to sit with them. I want them to try things on. And that's part of I want it to be all fun.
Yeah.
You know, for girls, let's try and clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think that's a perfect place to end this. Thank you
Awesome.
so very much for today. Is
Always.
there anything else you want to share with us? And I will join you for yoga. That sounds like fun on
You gotta
Fairfax.
take Vinny's class with me. It's
Oh my gosh, I'm in.
Oh, sorry.
Baby
Teeny tiny.
girl. Yeah, lower third for Miss Tiny here.
Hi.
You are amazing.
She's my sleepy assistant. She doesn't work very hard, but she earned it.
Wonderful, you're so
It's a
wonderful.
teeny tiny.
And your ears are my favorite.
She's part flying nun.
I love it.
Okay, so where can everyone find, is it Yogini Garmento?
I'm like third in Fairfax
Say
at
that
the
again.
farmer's market.
Everywhere you go, you'll see me in the back.
West Hollywood, Yoga Works. Yeah, you'll find me
Everywhere.
there. It's yoginigarmento.com, YOGINI, garmento.com.
Perfect.
And then I have Instagram
Perfect.
too, at Yogini Garmento.
Nice.
And yeah,
Cool.
or you can find me here.
At the new
Suite
bar.
1002 at the New Mark.
Woohoo. Awesome. Thank you, Brandy.
Thank you.